Good afternoon, traders. It's Jefferson Fossey here with Walsh Trading. Happy Wednesday, everyone. It is a couple ticks here after 3:15. It is October 15th. Let's take a look and see what these markets have been doing this week, what might happen here for the rest of the week. Please keep in mind that futures trading does involve substantial amounts of risk, certainly not suitable for all investors, traders, or producers. So let's take a look here. Starting off with fat cattle, December live cattle, 246.77 today, up 27 on the day, marks 9 days in a row, consecutive days here of gains in live cattle prices. Did not take out yesterday's high. They couldn't. Yesterday's high was 246.97. Today's high was 246.97. Concerns me a little bit that we got identical highs here on 2 days in a row. Kind of a narrow trading range here today. Volume was down quite a bit compared to where it's been over the last several days. Market might be running out of momentum here. We are heading toward the end of the week. Could spur a little bit of profit taking here. So I see support here, 244.09 is where I've got the 5-day moving average. The previous contract high here from August 27th was 243.57. That seems like a likely level of support here as well. Market trend is up. Stochastics very overbought right now, 98.97. But if you look back, I think you'll notice that we've been overbought here most of the year, and market seems content to stay that way. MACD's pointing up here as well. Decline in volume today does concern me a little bit, and the fact that we might have made a double top, or, well, we don't know that yet. It may have. Might get a little bit of profit taken here as we go out, but I still like this market from the long side. Less cattle, more people to feed. Feeders today had an inside day relative to yesterday. Only strung together 8 days in a row here up. Finishing down 65 here today, 380.67. Did push down and test into that 5-day moving average. That's at 377.73. Got real close to it here anyway today, but losing a little bit of momentum. Volume was the lowest it's been here since Monday, October 6th, so a week and a half ago. This is the lowest volume we've had since then. Market, like I said, with fat cattle might be losing a little bit of momentum. Feeders are typically a bit more volatile. They could pull back to the previous high here, which was 367.65 there, also from August 27th. Roughly kind of corresponds in the same kind of area as the 10-day moving average, which is 369.03. But trend is still up. I'd still like this market here from the long side. Haven't seen anything to change my mind on that just yet. Less cattle and more people to feed. Lean hogs today finished the day up 45. Now yesterday they gapped down. They left a little bit of a hole in the chart here to 84.45. That was Monday's low. Today's high was 84.35. They almost filled it, not quite. Still needed a couple more ticks to get up there. But the market faded right back down here. Still finishing up on the day, but well off of its highs. You do have higher highs, higher lows relative to yesterday's trade here in lean hogs. Market's got some downward momentum. My charts have been on the sell side here, on the bearish side since October 2nd. Next level of support that I see here in the market, well, the lows that we had here July 30th roughly corresponds with the 80.27, which is where you've got that 200-day moving average. If they run up and fill that gap again, we might see some selling pressure, but they haven't filled it yet. Got awful close today. You've got the 100-day average giving you resistance here right around 84.81 here in the December contract. Corn market showing signs of life here today, up 3 3/4 is how we finished. Had 3 sessions here Friday, Monday, Tuesday here where we closed below that 50-day moving average. My charts turned to the sell side here, or the bearish side here on Monday, but we are trading back higher. We're above the 50-day, we're above the 5-day, higher highs, higher lows, following a nice, well, small up day here yesterday, up 2 1/4. Did push down and got to 409 1/4 was yesterday's low. Seasonally, all the grain markets tend to rally, just at typically varying degrees between corn, soybeans, bean oil, wheat, soy meal, all that. Soy meal is usually the one that leads the way up, or at least gains the most, but we may not be seeing that this year. We're not seeing any seasonal turn higher here at this point in time. 50-day moving average is going to give you some support here in 416 3/4. The 100 days giving you resistance here at 421 3/4. They're getting closer and closer together. If we can get up above that here on a closing basis, I don't know if we'll get there this week, but if we can close above that 100-day moving average here, that would make it a little bit easier here to go back and fill that gap that's still been sitting there since July 3rd at 432 3/4. November soybeans been sideways all week. I mean, we finished Friday here at 1006 3/4. Today we finished 1006 1/2. So technically we're down a quarter of a cent here on the week. Short-term averages turned bearish here yesterday with the 5 and 10-day moving average crossing over. We're up off the weekly lows here, though. That was yesterday where we got down to 10.01, not quite testing that $10 mark. Yesterday was close to 1, but today is definitely a textbook doji. Opening and closing at the same price indicates a period of market equilibrium. At least in my opinion it does. I would wait for a directional close either above today's, outside of today's range. Today's high was 10.11 3/4. Today's low has been 10.02. You get a directional close outside of that range. And that's usually, I think, will give us a nice clue to the next directional push here for the market. Trend has been down here. Well, you know, I don't know how far you want me to go back, but the trend has been down here in soybeans and for a while here. We made our most recent significant high here on August 22nd, have been making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs here ever since. Soybeans need a much better story to turn them bullish. China usually accounts for about half of our sales here in soybeans every year, and they've purchased absolutely none of them here from us this year. Part of that's trade war, part of that's the fact that they've been bolstering their South American production lines, but yeah, beans need a much better bullish story. Soy meal today up $1.60, nice little push higher for soy meal, but this is also a market that's been trending lower here for quite some time. I mean, here October 1st we hit the low there at that 270.10, bounced up a little bit here a couple days after, been grinding lower here ever since. Short-term averages are on the sell side. Seasonally speaking, soy meal does rally the most, to my eye anyway, out of all the grain markets here over the next month, month and a half. We'll wait and see if that actually happens. If you're interested in taking advantage of that, December calls, we don't have much time left on them, but they are exceptionally cheap here in this $2.80, $2.90, $3 range. I think $300 range might be a little bit of a heavy lift. You still got the 200-day moving average there. Had a bit of an equilibrium day here yesterday in the meal as well. Didn't quite get the directional close that I just referred to in soybeans. Yesterday's high was 275.90. Today's close was 275.90. So we did not close out of that range. We did trade out of it a little bit. 10 days going to give you some resistance here, 276.60 from here. December soybean oil up 23 here on the day, closing at 50.80. It's been a volatile 5 days here for bean oil prices. Last Wednesday when I did this update, we were up at 51.71 or so. 51.48 is where we closed that day. That was pretty strong, but it's been working its way back here ever since. Short-term averages flipped over to the bearish side here with today's trade here. When I sat down this morning in the overnight session, what just happened? There we go. That's interesting. Why did everything go blank for a second? Short-term averages flipped over to the bearish side here. Today's trade. Yesterday we had a big spike low down to 49.72. We'll close it at 50.57. Normally when you see a day like that, that usually indicates some decent buying support, hence the higher movement here today. But closing on the lows or very close to the lows of the day is not exactly inspiring bullish confidence to my eye. Looking over here at Chicago Christmas wheat, December wheat's down another penny and a half here today, 498 3/4. Today's high was 501 1/4. Couldn't close above $5. Yesterday we closed at $5.25, so we're right back under it here today. Did have a little, yesterday's barn wheat, very small key reversal here. We did spike to a new low, got down to 492 and a quarter, and finished about 8 cents off of that. That is somewhat supportive. Got no follow through here today. Wheat market's been in a significant downtrend here, just slowly grinding lower. It's not exactly making leaps and bounds, but there's not really a bullish story there either. Lots of wheat around the world. KC wheat, a little bit better technical picture, but not by much. Yesterday's key reversal was a lot better in KC December wheat. Got as low as 477 and a quarter, closed it at 488.5. Pretty strong move there. That was up above Monday's highs also for the close yesterday. Not a whole lot of follow through today. Down just a quarter cent is how we finished. 488 and a quarter. KC wheat is trading above the 5-day moving average, giving a little bit of support here at 486 and an eighth. But the 490 and 3/4 10-day moving average is going to give you some resistance there. Looking over toward the cotton market, cotton has been just accelerating lower here basically over the last month or so. I mean, the most significant high we had made was what, the 16th, 17th of September, right in that range. We've been working our way down here ever since. Big spike down here yesterday, finished well up off the lows. Higher highs, higher lows today. Some folks might call this a bullish engulfment. We opened up lower than the body of yesterday's trade, closed higher. Sometimes those bullish engulfments can be signs of market reversals, but this downtrend has been in place here for quite some time. Cotton market has not really had a whole lot to be bullish about here all year long. It's been kind of sideways to working its way lower, and like I said, over the last month or so, it's accelerated down here a little bit. 5-day moving average, 10 days, been on the bearish side here since September 23rd. Yeah, I'd like to be optimistic here and say that this bullish engulfment is going to put a bottom in the cotton market. But the way the market's been trending, I can't accurately say that just yet. But it is showing some sign of life. Although remember, one day up does not a trend change. March sugar here. Nice key reversal in March sugar here on Tuesday. Big bearish, following a big bearish day here on Monday. Dropping down 49. Yesterday we were up 27. Today we're down another 21. Trading fully inside yesterday's range. Did bounce off the lows. Got down to 15.53 here with today's low. Closed at 15.67. Short-term averages did turn bearish early in the day here on Monday. You can see that denoted by that little blue cross, kind of hidden in there, at least on this chart it is. Stochastics pointing toward lower prices, as is the MACD here at the moment. Seasonally, sugar does tend to bounce a little bit this time of year, but beneficial monsoons in India, expecting them to have a bumper harvest, and the weather in South America has been a little bit more friendly towards sugar here recently as well. Coffee market today down 9, 390.65 the December contract. Big move up today. Got all the way up to 418.50, but closing at 390.65. This is a bearish key reversal, folks. Very similar to the day we saw in the highs from middle of September there, here roughly a month ago. Market made a real strong move here Monday, Tuesday. Short-term averages turned bullish here yesterday, but this candle here today, today's trade activity, fairly high volume, matched yesterday, but we finished lower after a big spike high. There was folks taking profits in there. Usually indicates a little bit more selling pressure when we finish on the lows. Would have liked to see, I'd be a little bit more supportive and a little bit more friendly toward coffee if we would have taken out that September 16th high, but we couldn't. This seems more bearish than anything else to my eye. Summer cocoa here today. 35 lower at 58.64. Had an equilibrium day here on Monday. Opening, closing, just 3 ticks apart. Very close to a doji there. No real confirmation of direction. We've had an inside day here yesterday, or last inside Monday's range. Today we're a little bit sideways. You did extend the range a little bit, had higher highs and lower lows relative to yesterday's trade, but everything stayed well within Monday's trade. Waiting for cocoa to close up above Monday's high, which was 59.51, or below Monday's low, which was 56.31. Market's been trending lower here pretty much, well, for 2 months or so, going back to at least August 12th. This is the last time we made a significant high. Paused a little bit here in the middle of September and has accelerated right back down here again. Not a whole lot to be bullish here, but wait for that directional close on cocoa. There is something to be said about this next market here. Gold is up $60.70 here in the December gold futures here today, 4,224.10. Record high close, record high prices. Gold market remains very, very strong. We've only strung together, one or two down days here. Had a down day last week, Thursday, sideways here on Friday, and then this week, 132 bucks higher on Monday, 30 bucks higher yesterday, adding another 61 here so far today. Still have about a half an hour until this market settles. Gold market looks very, very strong. Volume's down just a little bit here today compared to where it's been the last couple of days, but the trend remains very much intact. Gold prices look very, very strong. Same thing here with silver. It's up $1.82 here on the day at the moment. Yesterday had a very wide trading range, got through that $50 range, got up to 52.49.5 yesterday, saw some profit taking there, came down, found support with the 5-day moving average, kind of finished roughly where they closed. I'd like to see a stronger close here in silver, but we're up $1.83 here on the day. I'm not sure how much stronger we can get. We did set new highs here for the move. Yesterday's high was 52.49.5. Today we got up to 52.63.5. Market staying very, very firm. Next target's going to be the nice big fat round number here, $54, 55, 56. It keeps making strong moves up here as we go. Looking over here toward the December copper. It's about 47 lower here on the day, 497.60. Short-term averages are turning over to the sell side here with today's trade. You do find some support here from the 100-day moving average. That's going to be here at 494.75. Market made a spike high here last Thursday. Big bearish day down here on Friday. Big bullish day on Monday, though. Kind of erased everything that happened on Friday. Inside day here and down day yesterday, another inside day, reference Monday's range. 50-day or that 100-day moving average doesn't support. Copper does want to look like it wants to roll back down here. Stochastics pointing toward lower prices, as is the MACD. It's kind of weakening here a little bit. I think if manufacturing can tick up a little bit, we'll see copper prices jump right back up here again. But at least in the short term, they are looking a little bit weak here at the moment. U.S. dollar index down 35.5 here today. 98.45.5 is the last I show there. Made its high here last Thursday, got all the way up to 99.30.5. Been working its way down here, setting new lows for the week with today's trade. 10-day moving average is giving you some support there, but I want to zoom in on this here, or zoom out on it a little bit. The dollar has really been stuck in a trading range, and I'm going to say this is from May until now. Have not really been able to get up above that 99.60 mark. The low that we see here on July 1st, that 96.19.5 mark, haven't been able to break through there. Market's just kind of consolidating here. The dollar's going sideways, as are most of the major world currencies right now. Bond market down 4 ticks here today, 118.05. Inside trading day relative to yesterday. Not a whole lot of direction to it. Yesterday we had an up day up 11. Started the day this week. It was a green day, but we were down 4 ticks here on Monday. Short-term averages did turn bullish here on my chart with Monday's trade. 5-day moving averages giving you some support here as well, right around this 117.26 mark. There's a Fed meeting here on the 28th and 29th of this month, and every indication I've seen so far, including statements from the Fed chairman, indicate that they're going to lower rates by a quarter point here come the end of the month. When they lower rates, bond prices tend to go higher. Same thing here with the 10-year note. Short-term averages turn bullish here with Monday's trade. Had a nice little up day here. Well, just a half a tick up on Monday. Tuesday we were up 8. This morning kind of an inside day relative to yesterday's range, but we are down 3 here at the moment, trading 113.10. 10-year note's going to give you support here right around that 113.03. We'll call that the nice big fat round number, 113 even. Stock indexes have kind of been all over the place here over the past few days. Big down day here in the S&P last Friday. Short-term averages turned bearish with that day's trade, but we've been stuck within last Friday's range here ever since. did go down and test the 50-day moving average, find some support here in the S&P yesterday. Not quite a textbook doji, but very much an equilibrium day here yesterday. We're not seeing a directional close outside of yesterday's range. I think the stock market wants to keep going higher. We haven't had any real significant setback here in this market ever since we started recovering from those April 7th lows way back here. We've been working our way up ever since. A nice steady little uptrend. You go down for a couple of days, you find 50-day moving average support, and the trend resumes. Be interesting to see if that continues here. I do think the stock markets want to go higher, but we'll see if they can hold on to that. NASDAQ futures $167 higher here today. 24,929.25 is where I've got them last. Same thing here with the S&P. The bearish signal came, and the bearish crossover here came on Monday's trade here in the NASDAQ futures. Got real close to that 50-day moving average again on Tuesday. Bounced up a little bit. Can't bounce too far away from that with today's trade. 10-day moving average, we did see some resistance there, that 24,996. Today's high got just over 25,000 to 25,115. Got a little bit of selling pressure there, but overarching trend is still higher here for the NASDAQ. Dow futures, same kind of thing, a little bit better looking chart, I think. Short-term averages did turn bearish here last Friday when the Dow was down 887. Trying to break out of that day's range here. We're at 592, almost 600 higher on Monday, 202 higher yesterday. Today we're down 17. No settlement price here for it yet, because we've still got about another 23 minutes or so before the market closes. Working on equilibrium day here in the Dow. 50-day moving average giving you support here right around this 46,480 mark. If it breaks down through there, and if we see a directional close outside of today's low, that could spur the market down a little bit, but I think that 100-day should give us good support at 45,068. The Russell 2000, the broader market index, up 2460 here today, 2535. 20 is the last I have on it. Higher highs, higher lows. Well, inside day here yesterday, or rather on Monday, inside that big down day on Friday. Inside day, that short-term averages on the Russell did turn bearish. They're probably about ready to turn back bullish here. At an up day, 66 higher, then 35 higher today. We're up another 24. Broader market seems to want to stay up. Maybe it's just a problem here in the major, I don't know, call it the 7 stocks that everybody kind of likes and talks about the most here on the talking head networks. Those are seeing a little bit of weakness. We can see that evidenced by the weakness in the Dow and the lack of new highs here in the S&P. Looking over toward the energy markets. Big sharp break here last week. It turns out, at least in my opinion, peace in the Middle East means lower energy prices. Crude dropped $2.55 here on Friday. Extended losses a little bit more here with yesterday's trade, getting down to $57.29. Reference the December contract. Did bounce up off the lows here a little bit. Didn't quite turn the day to green to get me a market reversal. And today's got an inside day there. Short-term averages turned bearish on my chart here on October 2nd. Don't see anything that really changes that. The market's a little oversold here at the moment, but don't see anything really bullish coming down the pipeline. Gasoline futures here up a little over a penny here today, trading at $1.7942. Short-term averages, at least on my chart, turned bearish on October 2nd as well. Jumped lower here on Thursday and Friday. Big down day here on Friday. Got us to the lowest level we've been, well, since the early part of June. Haven't really got away from that here just yet. Small up day going on here today. 5 and 10 day are still declining, still pointing toward lower prices. Market's a little bit oversold here at the moment. That might spur some technical buying here by the end of the week. Diesel prices here, pretty quiet on the day. Almost unchanged, up just what, 0.2 of a cent, 3/10 of a cent here at the moment. 217.95. Did spike to new lows for the move here today. Got diesel down to 215.02. We're almost 3 full cents off of those lows here right now, and working on an equilibrium day here in the diesel fuel. Almost a doji here, just depending on the decimal point that we close at. Spike low, coming back to finish on the highs of the day. Diesel prices might want to rebound here, although today's low got them down to the lowest they've been here since June 11th. And finally, finishing off with the natural gas market here today. Down just a penny here right now, 368 even, lower lows, lower highs. But very similar to diesel, spike low here today, finishing well up off of those lows here at the moment. We're at 368 even, down just a penny. Today's low was 361.70, so we're 6-7 cents off the lows. Might be signaling a little bit of reversal there. Stochastics are still in oversold territory, but they are making a little bit of a crossover here. MACD still in the red. Short-term averages here on nat gas turned bearish here with Friday's trade. We've had lower lows, lower highs in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row now that we've had weakness in natural gas prices. I do appreciate you listening, folks. Thanks for stopping by. Remember to like and subscribe. Share this with whomever you might like. If you have any questions, comments, need me to cover a different market, please reach out and let me